Hey guys, it's Hogan here, and in this video, I'm going to go through everything that you need to know about Wise. I'm going to explain exactly what it is and how it actually works. I'll also talk about the different use cases of Wise and how you can use it to save money. I'll show you guys how to create a free account and do an international money transfer step by step. And I'll also cover some other really important features of Wise that are often overlooked. So first of all, what is Wise? Wise, formerly known as TransferWise, is a popular financial tech company used by over 16 million customers worldwide for cross-border transactions. So essentially, Wise allows you to send and receive money internationally without the high exchange rate markups of traditional banks and money exchanges. So Wise also offers a multi-currency account and an international debit card, which allows you to convert, hold, and use local currency while shopping online or traveling overseas, all without paying the high conversion fees. So how does Wise work? Now, how Wise works is actually surprisingly simple, but it's different from how a bank does an international money transfer. So essentially, Wise has bank accounts all around the world, I believe in around 50 countries or so, and they carry a local balance. So what happens when you want to make a money transfer overseas is, for example, let's just say I'm on the Wise website right now, and I want to send $1,000 to a recipient in the United States. So I'll set in $1,000 and then I'll set in the currency, USD. And because I'm sending from Australia, I'm going to set in AUD over here. And as you can see, this is the amount that I'll have to send the Wise bank account in Australia. So I'll send them $1,469. Once that has actually been received, then they'll notify the Wise bank account in America, and then they'll send the funds domestically to my recipient in the United States. So as you can see, the money never really crosses any borders, and it's essentially sort of like a virtual conversion of the currencies, and then it's doing a domestic transfer. So that's why Wise is able to offer cheaper rates and able to send money quicker internationally. So as you can see over here, this has actually been calculated using the mid-market rate, which is the same rate that you see on Google, so it's not marked up. And then they just add a small fee for their transfer services. So this method of sending money overseas has actually been around for quite some time now, because I remember a long time ago, my mum wanted to transfer some money to her sister in Malaysia, and my mum didn't want to use any banks. So because it's so expensive and it took a long time, and sometimes my cousins would actually come to Australia to study. So instead of using the bank, my mum will basically ask my cousin, can he transfer some money to my auntie, which is my mum's sister. So let's say, for example, my mum transfers 1,000 Australian dollars to his bank account in Australia. Then we'll calculate how much that is in Malaysian ringgit using the mid-market rate that we found on Google. Then because he has a bank account in Malaysia, then he'll just transfer the money domestically to my mum's sister or my auntie. So as you can see, we just do a virtual conversion of the currencies, and then we're doing a domestic transfer. And this is the exact same way that Wise actually works. So this is a little bit different from how a bank does it, where they basically convert your currency first to the recipient's currency, and then they send the money across borders or internationally directly to the recipient. So that's why generally they have to mark up the exchange rates to cover the cost as well as to make a little profit. And normally it takes a little bit longer as well. So besides using Wise to transfer money overseas, you can also use it in other scenarios to save money too. So one of them being is if you want to travel overseas for a holiday or something, you can use Wise as well. So for example, before using Wise, I would use something like TravelX, and I would purchase currency and collect it at the airport before I depart. So let's say, for example, I want to go on a holiday to Thailand, then I'll set in Thai baht over here, and I want the currency in a TravelX money card, which basically is like a debit card thing. So let's say, for example, I want to purchase 50,000 in Thai baht. So this is going to cost me roughly 2,209 Australian dollars. Now, if I were to use Wise, if I were to purchase the same amount, so with Wise, you also have access to the international debit card, which is virtually the same as the one that you get with the TravelX. And I'll have to pay around 2,149 AUD. So you save around $60 for that conversion. Now, another scenario is you can also use Wise for business too. So not only can you use it for personal, you can also send money as a business. So you can also sign up for the business account, and then you get access to basically some more benefits such as employee permissions, so you can get them to pay for certain things. You can also connect it to accounting software. Let's just say, for example, you want to send some money to China. For example, I want to send 10,000 USD to a supplier in China. I normally had to pay using ANZ, my local bank. Today's rate is around 15,126 AUD for around 10K USD. Now, if I were to use Wise, it would be roughly around 14,725. So that's a saving of around 400 Australian dollars. So that's going to start to add up, especially if you do a few transfers every single year, saving you thousands of dollars. And not only can you send money and convert money and use it, you can also receive currency too. So prior to using Wise, I would use something like PayPal to collect payments from clients or get paid for my work. And normally they'll send me USD, but I'm based in Australia. So for me to use that currency, I have to convert it into AUD. So let's say, for example, I want to do a $100 USD conversion. I would get roughly around 141 AUD. Now, for the same conversion on Wise, I would get around 145 AUD. So that's a saving of around $4. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but if you're getting paid like thousands of dollars every single month, then let's say you get $10,000 every single month, you're going to save roughly, again, probably around 400 plus Australian dollars. So that really starts to add up, and you're able to save a lot of money by using Wise when you want to deal with any sort of like currency conversions. So this basically leads me to show you guys how to create a free account and do an international money transfer. So to create an account on Wise, you do need your photo identification to create an account. Now, if you don't have an account already, you can click on the referral link in the description below, and that's going to give you a fee-free transfer of up to 1,000 Australian dollars or the equivalent. So once you're on this page, you can click on open an account. From here, you can choose a personal or a business account. So generally, I'll recommend opening up a personal account first, then opening up your business. Then you can basically link them two together. So over here, just enter in your email address and then set in a password. Select your country of residence and then click on sign up. Okay, so it's pretty much that simple to create a Wise account. And if you've actually noticed, they haven't asked you for your personal ID or any details yet. They'll ask you when you're doing your first transaction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log into my other account and show you guys how to send money internationally and show you the rest of the app. So I'm going to show you guys how to send money internationally. So once you have logged into your Wise account, on the top left, click on send money. So over here, it's asking where do you want to send it from. So generally, we're going to select send from your bank. Now, if you do have a balance, then you can select it from your balance and it's going to send from there. So we're going to click on send from your bank. So over here, we have two tabs. We've got the international tab. So if you're sending money internationally, or if you're using the same currency, you can select the same currency. Generally, I think most people are probably going to do an international transfer. So over here, you can either set in the amount that you want to send, or you want to set in the amount you want the recipient to receive. So let's just say, for example, I want to send 300 Malaysian ringgit. So here you can type in the currency or country. I'm going to select Malaysian ringgit, and it's automatically going to calculate how much Australian dollars that is going to be that I have to send to the Wise bank account in Australia. So it's going to be $97.95 Australian dollars. And the bank transfer fee is $0. So if you can click on the drop down over here, they have various methods that you can pay with. So you can pay with a bank transfer, Pay ID. That's a popular way to transfer money in Australia, just by using someone's phone number or email address. Or you can do a debit card or a credit card, but generally the fee is going to be a little bit higher. So over here, you've got the fee that they charge, so $1.28 in this case, and they're going to use the mid-market rate of 3.10. And as you can see, that rate is actually guaranteed for the next 70 hours. So if we scroll down over here, and you can also click on compare price to compare it to your bank. And here you've also got the date when the money is gonna arrive by. So right now it's actually on Friday night, and it says it's gonna arrive on Monday. Generally, if you have sent it to the person before, it is pretty instant. So we'll see how we go in this video. And over here on the left hand side, we can click over here and you can also schedule a transfer. Do you want it to repeat? You can also select that as well. So we're going to click on close. Once you're happy with it, then we can click on continue. So over here, we need to enter in the recipient's details. So you can either enter in an email. For example, if they have a Wise account, then you can enter in their Wise email account and it'll send it to their details there. Generally, you're probably going to be adding a new recipient. If you have sent money before, then on the bottom over here, you've got the recent recipients. So we're going to click on add new recipient. Now it's also important to note that your recipient doesn't need to have a Wise account to receive money because it's just going to be transferred to their local bank account. So you can send money to yourself, for example, if you have another bank in another country, or you can send it to your friend or family, or you can send it to a business or charity. So in this case, I'm going to send it to my cousin. And over here, we're going to enter in his email address. Now, I think this email address, it doesn't actually have to link to that specific bank account. It's mainly for the confirmation email that they'll receive once they've actually received the funds. So sometimes, the person might not have an email, so you don't have to put that in, or you can just enter in the email if they have one, and then they'll receive an email notification when the funds have been received. So over here, I'm just going to get his details. And I'm going to select the local bank on the tab up here. And I'm just going to quickly fill in his details, just his name, the bank name, as well as the account number. So these are the details that you need to get from your recipient. Once you've entered in the details, click on confirm. Here we'll need to select the reason for your transfer. So in this case, I'm sending money home to family. So you can choose which reason it is. So I'm going to select there and then click on submit. So over here, you can review the details of your transfer, check if everything is all good. If it's all good, you can also enter in a reference and then click on confirm and continue. So over here, you want to choose the method that you'll like to pay in. In my case, I'm going to do Pay ID because that is the quickest and also the cheapest. So you can pick one which you're most comfortable with. And it really depends because sometimes for different countries, it may be different fees as well as the time of arrival of the funds. It might be different as well. So choose one that you are most comfortable with. Once you are good to go, then click on continue to payment. So right now, what we need to do is we need to log into our online banking and we're going to transfer this amount. So $97.95 to the Pay ID email. So sometimes it might be the bank details and the bank account number that you'll need to transfer from. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up my online banking from my phone and do a transfer. So we're going to go ahead, click on pay, select the Pay ID, enter in this amount. So $97.95, click on continue and confirm. So once that payment is done, we're going to click on I have paid. Now, if you don't want to pay right now, then you can select I'll transfer my money later. So I'm going to select I have paid. Now, if you've accidentally clicked on I've paid, but you haven't paid yet and you forgot how much you needed to transfer, then you can click into the most recent transaction, which is the one before, and you can double check the amount that you have to send. So over here, we can click on the details and you can see how much you need to send over here. So $97.95. And here are all the updates in regards to our transfer. So as you can see, it just updated. So it says we have received your Australian dollars. We've also verified you. Your money's taking a little bit longer to pay out. So I'm going to take a quick break. Generally, that is pretty quick. It really depends on which country you're sending to. And before it actually said it's going to arrive on Monday. So we'll see how we go. Okay, so as you can see, it didn't actually need that much time and the transfer has been successfully sent. And I've also got a notification on my phone notifying me that actually has been sent. So you can also download the Wise app on your phone so you can transfer using your phone as well. So you can also click on share with recipient. So you can share it via the email, or you can send them the link and they can actually track the transfer. So what I'm going to do now is probably just contact my cousin and see if he actually has received that money. So most of the time he has. So as you can see, that literally just took a few minutes for that transfer. So we're going to click on back over here, and I just want to show you some of the other really cool benefits of Wise. So besides using Wise to send money internationally, you can also open accounts, open different currencies. So we can click over here, and as you can see, I've opened quite a few. So we can click on plus, and you can open up to 40 different currencies and up to 9 different currencies where you can actually receive money. So if you're like a contractor or a freelancer, it's a really great option to use Wise to receive money because it's a lot cheaper than something like PayPal to convert your money. So you've got 2 different options. You've got the balance where you can send, receive, and spend money, or you've also got the jar where you can set money aside. So perhaps it's for a specific holiday or a specific reward. Now, Wise isn't really a bank, but they do partner with some of the biggest banks around the world to hold your money. So with the jar, you can open that, but we're going to open up a balance. So click on open, and let's click on the drop down over here. So on the top are the currencies with the account details. So I have opened up quite a few already, so it doesn't show over here. And over here are the currencies without the account details. So let's just say, for example, I might open up a Canadian dollar and click on confirm. And that is basically set up. So if I wanted to receive Canadian currency, then I would click the get account details. So over here on the left-hand side, your client will be able to deposit money into the account using these details. So let's click back to our home. And here are the different currencies. So let's just say, for example, I want to click into a currency. So for example, the Malaysian ringgit. And if you want to add currency, you can click on add. And you can basically add it the same way that you sent money. So we can set in, let's say I want to add 1,000 Malaysian ringgit, and I would want to pay in Australian dollar. And essentially you just need to click on continue and then just transfer the money into your Wise account as well. So it's basically the same process as sending money. And if you have a balance in Wise already, then you can also click on convert. So you can convert the currencies that you have already to the different currencies that you've opened up as well. So for example, let's say, for example, I want to convert 100 Malaysian ringgit to Vietnam dong. Then I can do that, just click on continue, and it's automatically going to convert. So let's click on close. Now, another really cool benefit of Wise is that you can also set up auto conversions. So let's click on home. And then if we scroll down over here, we can click on auto convert. So this is a really, really useful feature because sometimes, let's say, for example, I receive USD into my account and the exchange rate isn't very good when we're converting it back to Australian dollar, then I will just hold my US balance in my Wise account. So then what I would do is I would set in the amount that I want to convert. So let's just say, for example, I will set in 1,000 or 10,000 USD, and I'm going to set in the Australian dollar. And then over here, we can scroll down, and this is the exchange rate for the last 6 months. So as you can see right now, it's about every US dollar equals around $1.45 Australian. So that's not too bad, but maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, it was actually 1.5. I might set in the auto conversion rate to be like, for example, when the USD hits around 1.5 AUD, then it's going to do an auto conversion like that. So you don't always have to keep an eye on the different exchange rates. And this is a very, very useful feature that you can use. So let's click on close over here. You can also set up the direct debits as well. So for example, if you have like phone bills to pay or electricity bills to pay, you also have the direct debit details that you can set up. You can donate to charities, and you can also schedule transfers if you want to send money to someone periodically. You can also click on the cards over here. So I do believe with the international debit card, it's not available for all countries yet, but if it is, you'll be able to order a physical card, which you'll be able to use just like any other regular Visa debit card that you have. And you do have to pay a small fee for that, and they'll deliver it to you. You also get access to the digital cards as well. I do believe you can have up to 3 digital cards at the same time. So with digital cards, it's really great because, for example, if you wanted to sign up for like a free trial for some software or something like that, you can use a digital card, and then like I've done over here, I've frozen it. So basically you don't have to remember to cancel that free trial before it actually starts that new pay period. You can use the digital card and then freeze your card straight afterwards. And yeah, you can also use it for websites perhaps you don't trust fully, or you can give the details to someone to use as well, and then just freeze it afterwards. And it's just really, really useful because with the international debit card, you can use it like any other card. So if I use my normal card from my home country, and a lot of the websites that I use are actually in USD. With my regular card, it charges me like an overseas transaction fee, and or also sometimes it charges a high exchange rate as well because it's marked up. But with Wise, you can save a lot of money because again, they just use the mid-market rate plus a small fee. So let's say, for example, you want to book a trip overseas, and you can load up on that specific currency and use your Wise card to pay for your hotels. Because if you use like a regular card, then it's just going to be like a lot of fees, and you'll save a lot of money by using the Wise card. You can also view the different limits that you have. You have, I think, up to, for me in Australia, it's $350 with free ATM withdrawals overseas. And you can withdraw locally as well, depending on your country. And you can also view all the different spending limits for the different payment methods. So the card is really, really beneficial. Now, we can also click on the manage over here. And this is basically going to give you easy access to all the things that I mentioned before. And you can also create a Wise business account, which is really useful because you can just link it all up. And you can send money between your accounts really easily as well. With the business account, there is no like fees or anything like that, but you can also give access to your employees to have specific permissions to pay for stuff. And the most important thing is you can actually connect it to your accounting software. So you can reconcile all your different payments, ready for the financial year for your accountant and things like that. So I think that is pretty much it. I do also highly recommend downloading the Wise app for your phone, whether you have an iPhone or an Android, because you can use your Wise app on your phone and it's very, very easy to use. Most of the time, I just use the phone to send money, receive money, convert money as well. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section below. Thank you.